It's about to start the trial of James Crumbley. This is the father of Ethan Crumbley. Jennifer Crumbley found guilty last month of second-degree involuntary manslaughter relating to her son shooting up the high school, Oxford High School, and executing several of his classmates. The ongoing jury selection process. This is going to be interesting. We're going to take a little look at some of the questions that jurors are asked. Taking a dramatic turn as a defense attorney, Muriel Liam's probing questions stirred some controversy and prompted objections from the prosecution. A lot of times we don't hear a lot about jury selection or how this is done. During the proceedings, Lehman's line of questioning delved into critical aspects of the case, aiming to challenge the prosecution's narrative and establish nuanced distinctions between Crumbley's actions and his son's. Key points to focus in this included, and these are the questions that were asked to jurors. If a parent buys a car for their teenager and tells the child and their friends they just gifted their kid a car, does that mean that the kid really owns it for the parents? Multiple jurors said that they had done just that, gifted their teenagers cars, but they were really the owners and could take away the keys when they saw fit. Let's talk about that one for a minute, because essentially what they're trying to do is create a gray area between a car and a gun. And they're trying to say that, yes, a car could kill somebody by running someone over, essentially. You could do a lot of things with a car that would be horrible. But cars' main intention is not to run somebody over.
Right. It's transportation. Whereas what do you do with a gun other than shoot things? Buying someone a
semi-automatic weapon is more so for killing things. So that is actually its intended use and its intended purpose. I guess one could argue, well, it's just for target practice. Like, no, it's not. That's how you learn how to use the weapon better and more efficiently and more accurately. But its intended purpose is to kill. It's like saying, well, you take your car to a racetrack. Yes, you can. Its intended purpose is not to race, unless you're buying your kid a race car, which that's not the argument here. If you buy your child a car, its intended purpose is transportation. It's not to be on the racetrack.
Exactly.
So it's not exactly a apples to apples comparison, but that's where they're trying to get them. They're trying to gray and muddy the waters a little bit, because that's about the only thing you could do if you're the defense attorney in this case. There's not a lot of ways to skin this cat, if you will. What is that saying ever from? That's a weird one.
It's bad.
People have said that before.
Raises my
I'm like, who the fuck ever says skin the cat? Otherwise, I just said it for the first time, I think, ever in a sentence. Who skins cats? Like, where the fuck is that? Where does that even come from?
Probably somebody we've covered in a podcast about true crime. That's the only way I can think.
I don't know why I thought that was like.
I think it's an old proverb, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm not skinning cats.
No.
I never have skinned a cat. Lehman also focuses on. I think it's because earlier off the air we had talked about someone who wasn't very nice to animals. And that's why it came to mind. Lehman also focused on mental illness and asked prospective jurors to consider if it's easy to tell if someone is depressed or suffering from mental illness, or can people battling such problems, particularly teenagers, hide these things. Multiple people said such illnesses can be hard to see. Lehman also zeroed in on the issue that it's captured the attention parenting. Okay, here's the deal, though. Yes, they can be hard to see sometimes. Not in this case. He literally wrote multiple times to his parents, "Help me."
Not just insinuated that he needed help. He said he needed help.
With illustrations of executing people in his school. Help me. And then he thought his house was haunted, and he thought that the cabinets were opening and closing, and he was hearing voices. And you know what Dad's response was? Suck it up and take some pills. Literally, that was the response. It's on a text message, which is sure as shit to be shown to the jury as this case progresses. So, yeah, there's certainly times where people can hide things very well and you don't know until it's far too late. Again, this is not one of those cases. She then asked 15 prospective jurors sitting in the box how many with kids believe they're perfect parents. No hands went up. We're not, again, this is, it's a defense attorney being a defense attorney. The problem, again, here, we are not, it's not a trial of are you a perfect parent or not. It's, did you do what would be appropriate when your child is literally telling you they need help and making illustrations of executing his classmates? And it's saying, I need help. She also asked how many believe that they, as parents or their parents, tried their best, even when they made mistakes. And everyone's hands went up. Again, we're not.
Okay, so we're going to try to say that parents make mistakes.
Sure.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But
except for me, I'm a perfect parent. There's nothing wrong.
We know
ever.
that.
I'm
we
great.
know that.
Yeah.
But yes, parents make mistakes. This mistake wasn't just, you know what, I forgot to leave lunch money out for you, or I forgot to wash your uniform that you needed for today. This was, I allowed you to have a gun that I gave to you, and you showed me that you were troubled, that you were suffering from some mental illness, and I still did nothing. And then people died.
Exactly.
That's bigger than a mistake.
That's not a mistake.
That's a colossal mistake.
That's ignorance. That's willful ignorance is what that is.
You know, I get what the defense is trying to do. They have to defend him. They have to throw some doubt out there. But you know what? I just don't think there is any in this case. They were negligent parents. They didn't do what they needed to do, and that was to protect their child and other people's children. And they didn't do it. Without a doubt. While Lehman defended her questions as pertinent to the case's core issues, Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald raised objections, asserting that some of the questions delved too deeply into the case specifics. Tensions escalated as McDonald accused Lehman of overstepping boundaries, prompting intervention from the presiding judge to ensure a fair and impartial jury selection process. The diverse pool of 15 potential jurors included individuals with varying backgrounds and experiences. Notably, 6 jurors disclosed firearm ownership, prompting strategic considerations from both the defense and prosecution teams. Well, it's reasonable to expect that 6 out of 15 are going to have firearms. It's Michigan. I'm surprised all 15 didn't have firearms, quite honestly. That would, I mean, if you want a true, because I would guess you would say, like, how many out of 15 people on average in Michigan have firearms? I'm going to guess the average number is probably close to like 15 out of 15. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's a huge gun ownership state.
Yeah. It's why all the militias are there.
All right.
So, yeah, there's clearly a lot of issues with what happened here. It's a defense attorney doing what a defense attorney does. So I guess the fact that they're trying to go to this depth means that they got a good defense attorney. But it doesn't really matter how good your defense attorney is at the end of the day. If what you did is so obviously wrong and resulted in the death of multiple people, ain't nobody going to save you from that.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.